Here's a conclusive proof of Pakistan connection to the Pathankot terror attack. Intelligence agencies have intercepted a call from Pakistan to Pathankot, a call intercepted from Punjab province of Pakistan to India's Pathankot. A terrorist speaking to his mother, telling her he was on a Fidayeen mission. And here is more. Total of 4 calls were intercepted by intelligence sources. 3 were to handlers in Pakistan and 1 to a family member in Pakistan. This is exactly what the indications were right throughout the morning. Now, intelligence sources confirming that calls were made to Pakistan, where a Fidayeen attacker was speaking in 1 call to his family and 3 others to handlers, those who were giving them instructions from Pakistan's Punjab province. Let me quickly go across to Kamaljeet Sandhu, who is breaking this information on India Today. Kamal, this is a very crucial piece of information that sources are telling you.
Well, definitely Pakistan lies completely exposed with a fresh-born homie which could have begun after Pakistan made a Indian Prime Minister had made a surprise visit to Pakistan. We've seen another backstabbing sort of a phase coming in from Pakistan. Clear-cut case in this particular manner. We know at least 4 calls were made from Pakistan. 3 of them were with the Pakistani handlers. The details are yet to be out, and 1 to a family member. Clearly speaking in a Punjabi accented tone, the terrorist said to his mother that he was going in for a Fidayeen attack, that he wanted his blessing, that this is perhaps his last moments with his mother. The mother obviously gave the blessings and said that he should be well prepared, that he should eat his food well before he goes in for that attack. So definitely this chatter has been caught on tape. Now this is going to be extremely good piece of evidence as far as investigators are concerned, and we know NI is going to eventually be investigating the case, and with a Pakistani link coming here. Obviously we've seen in the past also the NI investigating cases like the Udhampur case, where there was a clear Pakistan connection with a Pakistani terrorist caught alive, but it seems that Pakistan never improves. No number of handshakes with Pakistan at this point of time, whether it's talking about a fresh start, whether they've been talking to the separatists, nothing much really seems to have changed. And that is what we really asked the Home Minister, that the opposition seems to be gunning for the BJP, asking them questions as to why they're talking to Pakistan if there's nothing changed as far as ground reality is concerned. Considering that on the 31st itself, there was advance input which had come regarding the terror attack, and just before the terror attack itself, this particular chatter, this meant that intelligence warning was given way ahead to these forces. Despite that, we know that this kind of installation which was under attack by terrorists. But remember what we've been told, that this is a mammoth task. Not only do they have to protect the civilians, our security forces also have a daunting task to protect all sort of installations, the Air Force base itself, all the Sukhais and the MiGs plane which are stationed there. So yes, this is a huge task, and that is why it is taking so long.
Okay, now one thing is very clear. All indications are that this is a Pakistani terror attack. Should India continue to give dossier after dossier to Pakistan, or are there other options available for India to explore? I want to bring in Tariq Pirzada from Pakistan. I also want to bring in Group Captain Sultan Hali. He flew for the Pakistan Air Force, knows aviation well. And I also want to bring in Air Marshal Kapil Kak on the broadcast. Air Marshal Kak, what are options for Prime Minister Narendra Modi today?
Well, the meeting has just started about 5 minutes ago. I'm sure he would take into account all the options that are available. But I think I want to address 3 or 4 quick issues which will be serving as a backgrounder to his options. Number 1 is, it's my understanding that the peace process moved forward because of nudging of Prime Minister Modi, by Xi Jinping of China, by Putin of Russia, by Hollande of France, by David Cameron of UK, and most of all Barack Obama. Especially after Raheel Sharif made a visit to the US, I understand that the movement forward on the dialogue was actually triggered by 3 events. One is President Army Chief Raheel Sharif coming on board with the promise that he will start to throttle back on the terror groups which are targeting India. Secondly, there will be a movement forward on 2611 conspirators. Thirdly, that we will insulate or firewall this process against any terror attacks. But we have seen it may not be the terror groups which are under the control of the ISI or the Pakistan army, but these are without doubt. We didn't need these 4 calls made by Fidain to their mother and their handlers.
Right.
That this has emanated from Pakistan's soil.
Right.
From Musharraf in January 2002, 13 years now, Pakistani friends have promised us there will be no terror attacks which will emanate from the soil of Pakistan.
But that clearly is not happening. That clearly is not happening.
Maybe the option
No, but
could
while
be.
Pakistan may claim it wants peace with India, while Pakistan may say that they feel our pain, Group Captain Hali, how much is Jaish-e-Mohammed in Bahawalpur in the control of the Pakistan army, sir?
Well, I'm not privy to their being in control of the Pakistan army or not. But the Air Marshal just made some very valid points that if our Prime Minister, if our army chief, they are on the same page and they are willing to give peace a chance. You see, because when you talk about the terror attacks on India, why do you forget the terror attacks of Pakistan? We are making every effort to rein in the terrorists. But obviously, we have not made a complete...
To the discussion, in fact, that we were having here on India Today, I would like to bring in Tariq Pirzada also on this. Sir, you said that Jaish-e-Mohammed is banned, and just taking forward what Gaurav Sawant had said, if despite the assurances from the Army Chief of Pakistan, if Jaish-e-Mohammed cannot be reined in, isn't it time for a joint operation? Why don't you invite the Indian Army? We will do it for you.
First of all, you need to be competent enough to take care of the problem that is going on in Pathankot for the last 10 hours. Your forces are basically incompetent. Number one. Number two, Pakistan has done everything to rein in terror within its borders. India has to rein in terror within its borders. You guys have a habit of attacking Pakistan each time there is an incident, and you guys keep forgetting there is a occupied Kashmir, occupied by India. You keep forgetting there is Siachen, occupied by India. There is Sarpik, occupied by India.
Okay. Let me bring in Gaurav Sawant, and before I do that, it's quite rich coming in from a Pakistani expert, where the defense forces of Pakistan could not even protect their assets when the terrorists attacked that naval base. Gaurav, you wanted to ask a question.
No, one thing is clear. Pakistan is suffering terror. It's sponsored. But unfortunately, being Pakistan's neighbor, India is suffering. Can India expect Pakistan to rein in that terror is the big question. Tariq Pirzada, one simple question. Will Pakistan act against terrorists like Hafiz Muhammad Saeed or Lashkar-e-Taiba or Hizbul Mujahideen in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, or even Jaish-e-Mohammed in Bahawalpur? Will it investigate whatever evidence India has given and build on it in the times to come?
Hands are tainted with all the unfair things that one can think of.
Okay, Air Marshal Kak, the impression I get is this is a dialogue of the deaf. Whether it's under Manmohan Singh's regime, when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, or when Prime Minister Narendra Modi is at the helm of affairs, Pakistan refuses to budge from its stated position. India has a blow hot, blow cold policy. What is it that India should do? Sustained dialogue or sustained no talks till terror continues?
I think, Gaurav, you made a very critical point, and it's very unfortunate I heard this comment from our friend from across Pakistan, because he's obviously not someone who believes that we must have an India-Pakistan dialogue, because the nature of the language used was hugely accusatory. And I'm rather very pleasantly surprised that two anchors here, young anchors, including the strategic affairs editor of India Today, have shown so much restraint. The Congress party, the opposition, which actually slams the ruling coalition on every small incident, has shown such utmost restraint. And I think this is a time when Prime Minister Modi is confronted with a hugely challenging task. On the one hand, he is embarked on a peace process. On the other hand, there is an outrage in the country as to why no action is being taken against terror emanating from Pakistan, whether the handlers are Jaish-e-Mohammed or some other group. That will get established in due course, but it's emanated from Pakistan. Pakistan is answerable to the whole world. Why is terror emanating everywhere in the world from Pakistan? Therefore, is this not a moment to combine with the India-Pakistan dialogue process, with Pakistan taking a completely new strategic leap to become a normal nation in the international system?
Group Captain Ali, is that possible, sir? What Air Marshal Kak is pointing out, that perhaps Pakistan could begin by taking action, and kindly hear me, sir, take action against India-centric terror. I'm not talking about go after TTP, I am talking about go after LET, JEM and HM.
My dear, the Chief of Army Staff, in his address only yesterday, and that too after endorsing the death sentence to 9 terrorists who were found guilty of the act of terror, has given his word that the nation of Pakistan will not rest until terrorism is rooted out. And this terrorism is not restricted to India-centric or Pakistan-centric or international-centric. It is across the board. And we have decided and we have declared that we have no favorites, and we are not going to support anyone. So I'm not saying that take our word for it. I'm not saying that, you see, we are telling the absolute truth. I'm only telling you to be a little patient. Give it a chance. Yes, what has happened in Pathankot today is deplorable, but give this system a chance. The initiative which your Prime Minister took, the reciprocation which came from the warmth from our Prime Minister, there is still hope. Let us not dump it. Let us give this system a chance. And I like the idea of which the Air Marshal said, that instead of having only 2 hotlines, one between the NSAs and the DGMOs, let us also have one between the 2 Prime Ministers. Let us talk to each other. Let us join forces, because this is a common problem. And I'm sure if the intention is right, and I believe the intention is right from the Pakistan side, at least now we will be able to achieve success.
Air Marshal Kak, in fact, I want to respond to that. So please go ahead.
I just need to, Gaurav raised this point, and I'm very glad that Group Captain Ali has assured, as a Pakistani citizen, obviously one is hoping that he also represents the Pakistan establishment, even if he is a retired Air Force officer. If the Pakistani establishment at this point of time, and I'm sure, I have no doubt, without the hotline also there would have been communications between Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Prime Minister Narendra Modi between 3 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon today. I'm sure that would have been, there would have been some assurance which may actually give some wiggle room to Prime Minister Modi, because otherwise, look, it's not a normal 4 people being dead in a terror attack. It's an attack on a Indian Air Force base.
Yes.
It's an attack on the heart and soul of the armed forces of India.
Absolutely.
Therefore, this is not a normal terror attack. So you are confronting Prime Minister Modi with the hopeless choice of having to take action which may actually lead to a limited war between India and Pakistan.
No, but
hopefully,
you know, that's exactly my point, Air Marshal. Why do we think that it's either war or talks? There are a million other options.
Of course,
there's a wide gamut, and that is something that India Today viewers must be very well aware of. It cannot be either talks or war. There are a million other ways where India can bring Pakistan to heel and ensure there is no terror. It is for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval to think what is the best option. Even as we talk to Pakistan, one thing is very clear: Pakistan-sponsored terror needs to be taught a lesson. How? That is for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and for our NSA Ajit Doval to decide.